Start. Mr. Vice Chairman, Sir, I thought we were listening to the budget rather than debate on the budget. Stop. But, nonetheless, my dear friend has some points to make for his state. Stop. He has done so. Stop. Sir, I rise to speak on the debate on the budget, and I was a little selfish because I summoned you back. Stop. I thought it is no point in making a statement here before the two ministers who are busy in conversation. Stop. Anyway, sir, budgets have become an annual exercise and everybody impatiently waits what the budget is going to deliver and what is going to happen, as if some earth-shattering exercise is going to take place. Stop. I think, budgets are basically an annual exercise, but they are work in progress. Stop. No budget can be as comprehensive that in 1 year you make a statement and it will be sacrosanct for the whole year. Stop. I think budgets are exercises which are in continuity, and rightly so, and therefore, I would call a budget more a statement of intent rather than a document which gives you an accurate number as to what exactly will be happening on a monthly or an annual basis. Stop. Therefore, it is fine. Stop. I think, every budget has a carry forward of previous budgets, and I am sure, irrespective of governments changing, budgets are continuity of many past policies and will be a continuation or rather a road map for future policies, whether of this government or any other government in future. Stop. So, sir, to that extent, there is a genuine intent which has been spelled out, and I think, some are good examples also, that on fiscal deficit and fiscal discipline, a road map not only for what will happen in the current year, but also what will happen in the future years, how the fiscal deficit will be reduced over the next 3 to 4 years, on that also, a statement of intent has been made. Stop. Sir, that is a step in the right direction, as was done in the previous budgets where the fiscal deficit was sought to be brought down from 4% to 3%. Stop. It was much higher earlier. Stop. I think, we are moving in the right direction to bring it down to 3% in the next 3 years. Stop. So, I would like to submit that the Honorable Finance Minister deserves compliment for this. Stop. Sir, the coupon rate is just above the government security rate. Stop. As the rates are falling, now our finance minister is doing a great job, he is bringing down the inflation under the leadership of the Honorable Prime Minister, so the rate will fall further. Stop. And, with 5 years moratorium, we will pay it out of our finances. Stop. The insurance companies are the only companies, which have the long-term maturity funds, the banking system does not have it, the railways need a long-term maturity fund, that is where we found it. Stop. The other thing is the Honorable Finance Minister will give us in the next 5 years, even if only rupees 60,000 crores a year, that would mean, at least, rupees 3 lakh crores of money we get as gross budgetary support. So, that makes it rupees 4 lakh crores. I have already told you about rupees 1 lakh crores, which is coming completely out of the budget, out of our own resources, because this is the money that will come for station development. Sir, the World Bank, IFC, Asian Development Bank, all of them will give us the money, which will be necessary for financing. That again will be long-term soft loan, and that would also help us. There are some states, I will give you the statistics, if you want, where somebody is having aversion to World Bank. But I am very happy that Kerala, West Bengal and all states, including Bihar, have always applied to the World Bank and Asian Development Bank and taken loan from them. So, if the railways take it, it is a sell off, if you take, it is good for the citizens of your state. I think, I will believe in your ideology, then, we will also take from them, and we will use it for the use of the railways. So, with the World Bank and others, we the Indian Infrastructure Finance Limited, a Government of India company, are signing an memorandum of understanding with them. We will make a fund, which will actually be able to finance the operations. Shri Piyush Goyal, my good friend and colleague, is my customer too, because we transport his coal. So is the case with oil and gas, so is the case with cement and steel. All the PSUs are sitting with a lot of cash. We are going to use that cash to put the lines for them. So we get a break. Sir, I will tell you what we are planning to do. In fact, I was just telling you that committees after committees had talked about higher amount. So, the amount of money that they have estimated is much higher. We have taken a very conservative number, and we are trying to do that, including, the 12th Finance Commission, who talked about 5 lakh crores of rupees, at least, from the budgetary source. This money we are going to use in a manner that this money will be put into such projects which will start giving us revenue immediately. That is why, sir, we talked in this budget about the strategy of doubling, tripling, and all those traffic facilities where land acquisition is not required. There is no need to wait for the execution of the project, because this can happen in the shortest possible time. If typically, a new project costs rupees 10 crores per kilometer, this will cost about 60%, maybe, 6 crores per kilometer. So, that is why the money will be put. Stop. So, comma, in addition to this, comma, we are already creating a finance cell in the ministry which will be guided by the chairperson of State Bank of India, comma, along with ICICI and IDFC experts. Stop.